A lot of people are asking what happened to the social justice movement and equal opportunity. Californians voted down two propositions which aim to level the playing field, Prop 16 and Prop 25. Let's bring in Janelle Wang, who joins us now with some insight. Janelle.
Raj, Californians have dealt, as you know, with so much this year. Social justice issues, COVID-19, the pandemic, and of course this election. So that's why voters may have not been able to deal with any more changes. The Black Lives Matter movement obviously front and center this year, but in the end, two propositions that were demanded by many social justice advocates were turned down by voters. Now we're talking about Proposition 16, which would have reinstated affirmative action and require state jobs and university to mandate diversity in their hiring and admission practices, and Prop 25, which would have replaced the cash bail system. Now, Professor James Taylor, chair of the Department of Politics at USF, was very passionate when we spoke this afternoon and explained how disappointed he was, especially regarding the proposition on affirmative action.
How can you, on one end, bemoan crime, talk about Black Lives Matter, won't go away, complain about Black urban crime and other issues of life, quality of life issues in African-American communities, and condemn those people for those realities and predicaments, and then on the other hand, you close the door on their opportunities for those borderline individuals who, like me, who might have been able to make it out. So when California eliminates affirmative action, they cut people like me out. Not a criminal, not somebody who's a really smart kid either, somebody in the middle, a borderline person. And because I had an opportunity, the door was open and I didn't need anything else. Affirmative action was a hand up, not a hand out. And sadly, in California, there's a racial schizophrenic personality when it comes to the Black group in California.
Professor Taylor had strong words about the UC system since the end of affirmative action more than a decade ago. He says the decision has dumbed down the educational experience, not in terms of smart people, but in terms of the quality of education, having a culturally diverse background, well-rounded education. Now, Professor Taylor believes there are two reasons why those propositions failed. Number one, the failure in sponsorship. The people behind it didn't get the word out. Like, you didn't see all these commercials surrounding those propositions. And Professor Taylor, who is a professor in politics, says he didn't even know about that proposition until it showed up on his ballot. The second, with the COVID pandemic and all the other craziness going on in the world, people cannot dedicate time to their social justice commitments. People are struggling and they just feel that they don't have the time to invest in other people's causes, even if they do believe in those causes as well. So a lot to digest, a very powerful and insightful conversation with the professor this afternoon.
Yeah, we could see a variation of Prop 16 come back in 2022 or beyond. Thank you, Janelle.
Yeah, a lot to